Oh, gross. Basket cases.
Yeah. The freaks. Speaking of, Jacob, you saw Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein?
Yes, I did. I will admit I did fall asleep a bit during it.
I too did fall asleep during it. I think there's a reason for that. We'll talk about it as the night progresses. Just this creature is reminding me of the creature, Adam, in the book, if I understand correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, Frankenstein was meant to be a nap time movie. I'll put it this way, Jacob. That movie was 2.5 hours long, right? And we both kind of fell asleep during it.
Yeah.
The next day, I watched a movie that was like 2 hours long, and I was a little worried I wasn't going to be up for it, because after Frankenstein, I was like, I think I'm up for something with a brisker pace than the 2 hour movie. But no, it was a really good 2 hour movie, and it just reminded me, like, okay, I'm not crazy for thinking Frankenstein was kind of not doing it for its runtime.
Yeah, it was very lethargic.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's holding itself at a distance. Like, it does. So it does change the story in a way where it makes the monster way more sympathetic and kind of like simplifies it all into like bad dads ruin everything and that Frankenstein's a bad dad, which no doubt he is.
Yeah.
But there's a reflection of his monstrosity within Adam himself within the book. Like that's a big part of Shelley's thing. Whereas in Del Toro's movie, it's like the monster's an innocent kid. So there's like changes in that manner to the movie. Which makes me wonder why then it's so restrained in. It's holding itself at a distance in a way where it's like it's Frankenstein. Like, look, we're doing Frankenstein with old-timey set pieces, and it's very stoic and like.
I definitely agree that it was like it felt like a really incredible Wishbone episode without Wishbone.
Yes, a very masterpiece theater PBS. It's that thing we talk about when we talk about like holding distance. Like with Walter Benjamin talking about, you know, fascism holding things at a distance and aestheticizing, where like the movie's assuming importance because it's Frankenstein and because it's doing it with like period accurate clothing, even though it's not period accurate, like it's just because it's like this lush, old, tiny, like period piece, like, oh, the costumes are done so on point and oh, the sets are so real. It echoes, I was thinking about how the last Del Toro movie I really liked was The Shape of Water, and I realized ever since then the stuff he's been doing has been just like kind of adaptation.
Yeah.
And he's just doing adaptation with very grandiose like set direction and production design, and like it's all very beautiful.
Absolutely.
But it's all very, like I said, detached. It's like we're looking at a diorama where we're supposed to understand already that like Frankenstein is an important story that we should revere, and this is not so much like getting across a visceral feeling of what the story of Frankenstein is, but like Del Toro showing you like Frankenstein as a story features father abuse, or like as a metaphor you can read paternal abuse into Frankenstein. It's a book report.
He Frankenstein. Yeah, and Pacific Rim.
He did Frankenstein, because that's the thing. He tries to stitch in, I don't know, it's like a very basic thing about like paternal abuse, and like I get it, abuse sucks, and like yes, the monster was thrown away by Victor, and that is like abusive. But even the way he's sprinkling that in is more like, look, you can read the metaphor out of what I'm doing, right? Like the movie's to be observed and read is like a metaphor or a metatextual, like everybody is sitting back and watching this movie and talking about Frankenstein because they're watching the movie in addition to having already read Frankenstein or having already built a reverence for Frankenstein.
Yeah. Building on its good faith.
I think about The Shape of Water being his own thing versus the last three things being just like remakes or titled properties, because, you know, a lot of movies are creators who are really inspired by a title property making their own version of that, like, you know, Star Wars, Flash Gordon, When I think of like a RoboCop story, but injected with actually like a passion to tell a RoboCop story, Frankenstein's RoboCop. RoboCop with Frankenstein is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's movies that have the Frankenstein premise that aren't titled Frankenstein, but like they're passionately concerned with like similar ideas.
Yeah,
or
the same concept.
But they don't feel the need to literally have Victor Frankenstein in them to spill out paternalist like dad drama stuff.
Right. But Daddy wasn't there.
Which I mean I agree and I'm sympathetic to the point, but it's at a weird odds with the whole insistence on like this reverence at the same time that you're not being true to the like ideas of the text.
Yeah.
To be too woke about it, it's a bit fascist. it's doing the distance thing that Benjamin talks about, like at an art museum where the piece is put at a distance on display with, you know, the velvet rope around it.
Yep.
To tell you like it is important. It is a signifier. It is an aesthetic signifier.
Pacific Rim does rule.
Pacific Rim does rule. Like, yeah, that's what frustrates me. Again, like Shape of Water. I was thinking about too, like, I don't think his shooting style is good for adapting other stories, but it's suitable for his stories. Like Pan's Labyrinth, excellent. Chronos, I'm down with.
Yeah.
I know people give The Shape of Water shit, and I know The Shape of Water. So like he operates like, because the thing is with like the fatherhood metaphors and stuff in Frankenstein, Del Toro operates on a very symbols first like mode of like cinematic creation, which can be a bit film student-y. It's kind of what's going on with Frankenstein, where like instead of considering like the human aspects of like the characters and the complexities of them, he's flattening them all into metaphors and symbols and kind of like reverse engineering story from there. I like, you can do that. I just don't think doing that to stories that have been better composed and better framed. Like his cinematic eye is suitable for his original stories and his original conceptions of like visual metaphor, not so much other people's ideas of metaphor.
Yeah.
Because when he adapts stuff, it feels very stage play-like, and I mean that because it's like sitting in the wide, and it's like, it's cool to let your masters hang. Like, he gets away with it because he does have good actors, and he does understand when to like let a good performance hang, because a good performance does like own a wide in ways that like, if you watch a bad actor in a wide, buddy, you can tell you're in like a Tommy Wiseau movie.
Yeah.
It's actually like part of why so many quick churn and burn productions now don't have those kind of master shots, because it's easier to just do like shot reverse shot coverage.
God, it's so sad.
Instead of having an actor being able to practice and compose a character to persona and then let that play out in a huge master wide that conveys like their body fully.
Right.
Shout out to that optic versus haptic like stories of old video. You shared that in the Discord, Stateful. I think it's really good at this, because that video also illustrates how this what I'm talking about isn't just a matter of like, oh, it's digital versus analog film. Like, no, it's a consideration of like how we process like what to feel in the world, like what is haptic and like what an image conveys to us about what a space is and feels like.
Yeah. Just letting the eyes wander around a frame and giving a frame to wander around and have stuff. It was real good, but definitely some good takeaways from it, even in the digital age.
Yeah, Pizza Boy. Okay, so here's the thing too, like talking about how like I don't think Del Toro's style is suitable for adaptation because he kind of forces metaphor. The original Nightmare Alley from the 40s, he just makes it more vulgar, and that kind of destroys the magic of the movie for me, because that movie was made during the era of the Hays Code, and it, through a lot of off-screen implication and innuendo and dialogue puns, it gets a sense of like nastiness across in a really fun literary way. that Del Toro just destroys, because instead of there being like any sense of like off-screen violence or off-screen rot, like creeping around the edges, he just shows you violence and vulgarity in a way that's kind of like just blunt. Again, he just like goes straight for the symbol in like a very blunt way. But the original Nightmare Alley is wonderful. It's also a tight like 80-something minutes, maybe 90, whereas his is 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.